이제 미소기도
कड़ा उनकी जोधपुर है ना सुबह जोधपुर है किसके लगे ठीक है उधर विवेक लगे उधर उनका फिर पार्टी
Please ban a hero.
Hey Siri call Vivek भैया second on speaker
Your team is banning.
Hey Siri call the kill second on speaker
The enemy is picking. Please pick a hero.
そして征服。
一番偉大なる発明なのです。
The enemy is picking.
まず死にたいやつは出てこい。
Your team is picking.
生まれたものなのよ。
निखिल सुने रिजल्ट वगैरह तेरे साथ रहते हैं
この鎖に縛られているのは地獄の豪華
The
で
enemy is
こ
picking.
の世界を作り変える。
tao này mà ai stream tàu đi mà ima sai thì xấu tàu con năm tờ stream tàu đi tao chalo hay nào tao stream ai stream tàu đi tao ra tàu con sai just show tàu bị ra cái nó ya ra cái gì có ai stream tàu bị ra cái mà đi cái gì
Your team is
僕が
picking.
一番の手職人。
ima abda Carino inam sa tayo yung sa adre chalo ta
私はノスガルの娘。命を懸けてこの土地を守る。 Welcome to Mobile Legends. 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them. All troops deployed.
火力全開。勝利は私のもの。一番好きな勲章？もちろん。父さんが私を誇らしげに見るわ。逃げるの？かっこり。
네! 이런 거 든든합니다.
世界を私の望むように変えてみせる。
Enemy battle spell on CB.
好，
包囲を突破するよ。
이런 거 이거.
别人的号不？
제발.
好，我别人的号不？好的。
낭디. 애기 밑 기타에 써하오가.
置いてけぼりにされて文句を言うの。次はベースを落とした方がいいかな。
别破裂出。
잘라봐라 타오바.
照準内。
拿过去。ロー。
これでまた勲章が増えるわね。
เกมต่อเลย
Your team destroyed the turret.
ว่าที่เขาทั้งไงอยู่
私が求める
ตา
の
ตา
は
ไอ้ดังดิ้งซ่าเห็น
와우.
Gather up the turtle. Understood.
ไอ้ซึ่งมาๆgitu ya ดังยาวสัตว์เลย
もちろんビジネスのために聞いているのよ。
진짜 은혜. Brother, kanan eh.
そんな選択肢はない。
Fuck.
そろそろ本気を出すわよ。
Netlock ya, Allah. Ini cang mana mana tuh dia.
di sini
私が求めるのは圧倒的な勝利よ。
뭐 지금 배서 완로.
戦場に逃げる者の居場所はない。
เฮ้ยชิปพยาจีรับตาเลยไอ้น้องเฮโร่เห็นก่อน
예! 우드레. 야,
Team destroyed the turret.
작스 거기 만드나. 우드리네.
Request backup.
そろそろ本気を出す
Sky ไปที่กันน้องคำเดินเอาแวมแพม
Bro, अरे स्कैनर भेज दे अपना भाई।
Slain.
सुने 800 तो ये वो भाई 200 कल देंगे। स्कैनर भेज दे भाई। माँ भाई ब्रेकिंग न्यूज़ दो ऐसे खर्च हो जाएंगे ठीक है।
Yayo.
Dark sih. Oh ini.
Apa nak kenapa bang? Oh, nabe. Sida! Tahan lu kita ke pada. Oh, iya gitu deh.
Nhiều không? Saya tuh mastery lo खेलने को मुझे.
学者の城に面白い新武器があるかな。もちろん実戦テストのために聞いているの
Tổ dân
は
xả đấy.
Oh, kan. Nah, tu betul soi dah. Nah, yang nak tahu dia. Kenal.
Ketika jadi sih je. Ketika ya di.
Wong pun menau.
力があれば不可能な
Wong kom na tiu tu ken ni.
Kali kenapa?
Ken ni do.
包囲を突破するよ。
Your team
Jangan kata dia.
destroyed a turret.
Aku kendan.
Initiate retreat.
Ôi trời, em là dốc rồi.
Pada
ジ
no.
ミーが戦場に戻っている。
Hơ.
Kayway niya nga niya.
Chị Jenny cái câu nào vậy tiền chân này cái tàu về không?
Are mi nung pato ka sa sa daw. Mana ay nung medyo ito.
Ya đi. Phải đi đi vậy đi đây.
照準内。
Không mình đâu có tới sắp em chỉ đeo. Tiền nó hay gì vậy? Hay đó cái ngày này ở đi phở.
Ult is not ready.
包囲を突破するよ。
Sky din sina. Ini pasti le Sky din. Berani ko.
Kiss, alti antar ko na show alti hane alti kan. Bago.
戦場に逃げる者の居場所はない。
Slain.
そんな選択肢はな
Din
い。
wat ik wala. May na wat ko ay na pag dali.
Launch attack.
Ni ke no je ja ki hin na ba na.
Our turret is under attack.
Kay na kara da shi na wan di wan.
Our turret has been destroyed.
ジミーが戦場に戻ったよ。
An ally has been slain.
Nangam ta yo phuna shi na ba da. Nam ta hai jat lo.
照準内。ロックオン。
Chale na no le na.
An enemy has been slain.
Ya, apa kan nang mereka sumi?
An ally has
Ai tabu le mo si kan nang da.
包囲を突破する
Bunyi đó lại không gặp. Vậy mini mẹ tôi uy nè hả? Bunyi đó lại nè. Tôi có đi nâng đầu này đi. โลตัวโลขั้นโลนะไฮเปอร์ถ้าพวกเปลี่ยนเนี่ย
特製の玉を味わいなさい
มันมาที่ชักก้านะจัดเลยจัดเลยจัดเลยโท
Ally has been
บี
slain.
จัดเลยโทบี
Initiate retreat.
มั้งทางมีน้ำยาวดีไหมเป็นเนี่ย
You
อ่า
destroyed
ไป
the
ทางไหน
turret.
ว่ายังไม่ถึงก้า
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
戦場に逃げる者の居場所はない
Our turret has been destroyed.
น้อยมาทูรุชิติบุตายแล้ว
Shut down. Double kill. Initiate retreat. Triple kill. Brilliant damage.
แน่โรสโกลัมทั้งอัพตะกี้ด้วยมีร้อยฮาลันก่อน
The enemy has slain Lord.
โกลเด้นเดสติกาทูเดนโกลเด้นเราพูดกันฮัสโกลชาดาวอันนี้ฮัสโกลชาวกันเลย
世界を私の望むように変えてみせる
ทำอะไรมีเนี่ยจ้ะ
จะเป็นยังไงโอเคโอเค
戦場に逃げる者の居場所はない
จัดแล้ว
ขนาดที่นั่นก็แกเราชะลอแก
ดิจิที่ชนะแกแล้วกี้อารมณ์ที่ชนะแกอีกที่ชนะแก
Our turret has been
เอ็น
destroyed.
จลาตัดเลยมั้ย
ตัดแต่เดียวกูไอ้ยอลนักเตะมันเกี่ยวกับเตะ
Our turret is under attack.
บัตัม
Turret
บี
has
ด้าน
been destroyed. Our inhibitor turret is under attack. Our turret has been destroyed. Our base is under attack.
Lo idore, biesto, oh, mini neutri,
ジミーが戦場に戻ったよ
di tu
Our base is under
dia aja halo dra mine
Damai ma pagre.
turret has been destroyed.
Ai chale.
Our inhibitor turret is under attack.
Chalo ne, ma khami ne.
Our inhibitor turret is under attack.
Ah!
ai luôn vô gai kìa
Ally has been slain.
tán cái kia
Our base is under attack.
Đây đi, tầng khai bia xài ngao đi cô vậy đây. Đây, cầm cắt tờ vệ nè, khai được quan nó đây. Có thể mà cái Watch party itu tahu jira, quan đi cái sana tal lagi. Oh,
ini
sudah
game house
muy lera bang. Aku kamu lera bang.
late oh sure cái zone cái này
Aduh ni ye jira ye.
ôi tàu
Satu minit, 3% start, 2% start, bye. College.
drop it it's okay drop it it's okay
College है भाई काम change मैं इसके में आ गया ना बताओ ये
biar ai khôi bu lâu sinh ghi gian tapi tambiu ano ba para Thu nhiều.
Ôi, tên lỗ này, không đâu gì thì.
Pick cái lấy nè, các bạn nào.
Asio ni yang cara pas party ya.
Nhiều.
Ya, aku pas party ni yang. I feel better.
Against the Lancelot, huh? So that's a very, very risky pick.
I do agree because you can see even an Esmeralda onto the other side. So picking up the shield hero, especially one that cannot really move around so quickly, does not have a dash or a blink skill, I think it's gonna be very difficult for you to actually just play around with this hero. But in terms of range, it does cover up a lot. It can even give out that damage overall into the team fights. But again, very position dependent, and I can see what Zohan are trying to do. They're just trying to play inside that head box or in that range of theirs where Duel will be forced to make those mistakes. But like you mentioned, the Lancelot is so easy. It's going to be easy for him to just go and mark the Eve, the dashes that he has, and with the damage that he can actually build up. Even with the hybrid build, I think the Lancelot dish out a lot of damage. But talking about damage dealer, there are enough, but the Roamer are not so far, and it gets getting banned more and more in this game.
Minotaur.
Yeah,
I think this is very understandable ban. Okay. Sure, I think as actual they could have been having a good time with the Minotaur here. Zohan, very understandable that they have to remove. But the fact that Apex have a lot of heroes, into his hero pool, I think that's where he signs a lot. So
nice.
He cannot really ban up. But Yuzong ban, very predictable that one. Yeah. I think Shinryu, is this gonna be a flex Lapu or is it directly into the hands of Dusty Mizo?
I think it can be flex because Prime does like to play the Arlot too, and he has been really performing well, right? Not Prime, Dusty Mizo, my bad.
Okay,
Mizo,
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, my bad. So Dusty Mizo has been really good with those setting up. It's not always Ilu who is actually instigating those team fight or giving that the team. I think it can be flex because in a way, I think they can still flex it around, but at this rate, not Prime, Dusty Mizo, my bad. Yeah, my bad. So Dusty Mizo has been really good with those.
Okay, the Hylos. Safer. So they can
Ah,
play
berarti
I feel like they can play the marksman here into the hands of Prime. Honestly speaking, I hit this guy onto the fighters. He's a carry, right?
True.
He's a
Tai.
damage dealer.
Tabo.
Carry hero player.
It's like a similar to how putting those fighters onto a Toby, right? And these people, they're so good on the marksman.
Toby.
Isn't it? Yep.
Oh man, Khalid was okay. It's actually into the hands of SHUL instead of Johan.
Okay,
I
now-
mentioned the Khalid for Johan because of the broken walls. Okay, there we go.
What?
Oh my goodness, thank you, bro.
But against the Esmeralda?
Yeah, against
Yeah,
Esmeralda. Okay. This is interesting.
Mai thì mình sẽ ngon
Something
tao
I
à.
like
Có
about
phía đây.
this draft from Johan is that the Eve is definitely going to be able to pop off against the Uranus, right? But then there are three dives from SHUL. Esmeralda is always going to be onto Eve, onto for you all the time. And there's going to be Jay onto this Lancelot as well. And now doubling that dive with the Aladdin. I mean Khalid, Mr. Apex.
Yes,
How
the
is
Aladdin.
You're out.
Yep. I mean, if you talk about the early game pressure, is definitely going to be on the side of team Zohan. They will be threatened by the presence of both Khalid as well as Lancelot, and even the Kimi in the early game can dish out a lot well. But for Zohan, they're going for the double slowdown, and that where they want to fight around, right, with their heavy team fight based lineup. But in a way, I feel they're really relying on towards Blade as well as Prime to get this healing, because without them, it's going to be difficult. But again, the Lapu in the early game too can dish out the damage. But against an Esmeralda against Uranus, I don't think so. The damage will be enough though.
It can be, because the late game is where Johan wanna play. They have an answer for the Elise. No, for the Kimi already. I feel like this is gonna be a little bit slower for Johan. As actual, they wanna play the early aggression, and Johan, they wanna drag the game.
Definitely, we'll see. I think
Grab
it's
se
just
kana
more
fazla
of that,
kya.
what we talked about, the front line for that
Ah,
Kimi
bara
for the
bara.
side of Team SATUL. But again, we'll see, ladies and gentlemen, as he heads
Grab
into
se
the
ni
line of
madum ya.
dawn for the
Yipki
game
Khalid
number
yaure,
two,
Halo
match number
Shodum
two
Khalid na
of the
pananga
day in the
mani.
1-1 bracket. Both the teams are ready to take this
Ya,
on. The winners
no
will be
ka.
heading to the
ABM na
2-1
ka
bracket, and
is
the loser will fall to the
ABM na
next round.
kare
But
ba.
again, the
Ama de
early
Harry
game
position na
rotations will
mani.
be very important. But I think
The
both the
Harry
teams
CD
will
kano
be
na
okay.
Hajaradi, Shion na
Teams
Hajaradi.
already want to play
Honest
aggressive with
to kong.
Anti going in for the purpose
Sustain
of
to
steal,
ni.
but hey, Blade
Ali
will
game
be
sana
able
nga
to secure
madikar
it
sila.
with the help of the
Shion.
retribution, but they have
Let
enough
game
front
yaure
line to
boy.
just dismay the aggression the side of Team SAD will be putting, but so far, early way that we are
Let's
looking at
see.
already from Epic.
Let's see.
That was a good read
Level
coming through
4
from
yau
you.
dikang
I
ini yang one
understand
na
because
sana
they were
ni
able
Ismail
to
dal.
chase
Head.
away all of those
Sai
possibilities
sai
from
sai sai
SHL to
sai
try to steal
sai.
onto the purple buff. Like quick tag onto the emblems, killing spree for Mr. Blade here onto
Khangde
the
kai
Lucian,
na
trying to
Halo
go for
speaks
a
yam
little bit of
haina da
aggression
wani.
into the team fights. Apex doesn't have the figure, might be in trouble.
Halo se mel to na
He
bu
might be
yaw
in
de sida.
trouble. I mean, they're not
Ado
going to
jo
pursue
Halo
anything
se
in the early
ignore to
game
wo da
because they
lo
don't
ya
have
ba.
enough damage to punish them, right?
Not really, and that's why it's important that you want to max out the rotation coming through for the Khalid here. But Apex might be having a very great time here. On the other hand, NT doesn't really care, man. He's just gonna be blocking out onto the waves and not letting the Steamizo out of the lane. And I was a little bit sure that it was gonna be into the hands of Radium, the Uranus, I mean. But this is gonna be changing out the momentum of the early game because NT right now is into the Uranus, and this is definitely amazing that ABM, not SHUL, they will be able to have that early game because of the picks that they have right now. The draft, man, the draft really matter for the side of SHUL here. They will be able to start into the turtle. Johan should they need contest because there is a fact that the Yisun needs the first turtle, right? But with this kind of chunky lineup, you cannot really do that. Even Dusty Mizo onto this Lapu Lapu will not be able to go in because this is the start of the aggression for SHUL. Late game is what Johan want to play for.
Yeah, I think the scaling would be the best route for Team Sohan to actually go for because if they try to just push their luck in the early game, it's going to be a problem. But Apex might be in problem. Pops up the flicker right still, but hey, that's another resource being burned up. So he needs to be careful for the next fight. But I think at least for the first 5 minutes of the game, I don't think we are looking at too much aggression from Zohan. Like you mentioned, they will be scaling, right?
They want to scale a very expensive picks as well. But honestly speaking, oh, look at that!
Oh, the Raging Sandstorm saving. Not anti, but
Apex
this time again they want to go in with Phantom Execution as well. Radium wants to go for the chase, cannot really find that. The stun there, and Elu there as well. Prime time to dish out the damage, and the first blood to be drawn out by 4U. That's the first point on the scoreboard.
That's
Blade
definitely a good
na
play coming through onto the gold laner. Not the less,
Aziz
even though it
Aziz
is a
is
tanky
kind of
utility onto the
violence
hands
loss
of
the
Radium,
little at
but
umbu
still gonna be
sana
okay. But now, even though they lose onto
They
the
two
member,
sai ni
SHUL
mana
still have a
They two
space
ni
into
ni
play
ma.
it because of their pick. I cannot stretch this far enough. But the Khalid and the Kami altogether
My
is
gameplay
always
kang
definitely going to
imi
be having a
igo
good
ni mi.
objective wins in comparison to the Hilos and Eve. First item priority for
mane
Asuna will be
hay
the
de
Blue Sky Piercer. Very
Oro de
definitely
hayra.
choice here. He's gonna be the sole damage dealer
Hayro.
in comparison to Johan,
hadi
who have a scary
kallingi na
Radiant
laydana
Charm
Moi
being
ge
used
mid
for
control
defensive
kan
maneuver.
bagina.
Look at that.
Hai two sai.
The Brave is spider there, but I think so they can't convert so easily until and unless SQL just
blade
oversells
hay
their
jigen
round.
odana to hanji
And so far that just happened
kai
once.
spot no mi
They
hawda
got
fini
lucky.
wan ti nena
That was
ibidi ga
actually,
tabe
I feel
o
like,
si holda
SHL, they want to play aggressive, right? Because
Ipini ya
they have a
Martini.
lineup that is made for aggression since the
mamingi
early early
mamingi
game.
dem uro
And
kai na blade hay la
Johan understand this very well. They
Koi kam dau
don't
je
want to
ba
go for
brada.
that kind of aggression. They
koi
need
kai na
to step back just a
fini
little
ra
bit because they are not actually
Koi na.
behind, but they might want to contest on
fini
this
je
turtle. Look at that.
Sana na
sani
ba.
Once
hay
again, the RWM will drop down.
sana
Zohan
na
are
wata
forced to go back.
Ring play start
Still,
tok
they want to
challe
fight.
na.
Apex is low on AC, but still trying to survive that. Again, on the back line, Apex
amadu
will
na
be
ngaijan
going
wal
as
ni
Dusty
olo
Mizo
madu
is
gido ay
going for
ing tam
more.
sana gitu
Looking
amane
to
haba
slow himself, but still able to
ya
steal.
mana kamin tari tawi me ando
Yes.
Aggressive
Team
sana
kami
sa
Radium,
lo
dito
ga
pala
jale
kuya
ali.
dito niya.
SHL
aduni
wanna punish
ini
here.
gisi
Elu
sana
being
ko ay
stuck
ay
against
blue
the
go diye
boundaries and
ngudre
will be
ba
punished
fight
right
nang
once
so
again by
gisi
Elu.
sana ko hay
Elu
la
will
go
be
fight
brought
chalu ine
down,
haba
taken down. Double
एकदम
right
तुम्हें ले
now.
जाओ जैसे
Na first
Stacks
gi
for
block
Sky
lo
Piercer
de
from Mr.
khagzaro ka
Asuna
ai
onto this Kimi. Definitely
Draft
well
wala ka
aduni
dyan
done.
dito.
Welcome
Buwas na
draft
maro.
back.
kita sih
That was SHUL trying to perform so
Draft-ꯀꯤꯗꯁꯨ
well
kꯩꯅꯣ
onto
Yip
the
fast
hero
pick
that
ꯂꯧ
they're
ꯍꯥꯏꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ
really
ꯃꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯣ
uncomfortable on, and
Hoi.
that is
Ye fast
definitely
pick
gonna be a
second
good
pick
start
lo
for
le
right
kat le
now.
ne bada.
NT with the
ꯑꯩ
dominant
ꯅꯪ
stance will
ꯈꯜꯂꯝꯗꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ
not
ꯈꯪꯉꯕꯅꯦ
rely
ꯑꯗꯨ
anytime soon with the
ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯄꯗꯨꯗ
hybrid that he
First two
has,
pick.
and the
ꯅꯪꯒꯗꯣ
Sky Piercer 2 stacks
step
already
ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯧꯔꯒ
for
ꯄꯣꯠ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ
Suna,
ꯂꯧꯔꯣꯅ
so they can go
ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯛꯄꯅꯦ
for the aggression. But for you though, he got the NT heal. Meanwhile, for the War
DM no
MC
sana
is
mong
looking
khang
for
da
the
bini ma
Awareness
to
team, so
kang
that's
ngang
gonna
we.
be a little bit of an engage to
ꯑꯩ
this one go
ꯔꯤꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯒꯗꯣ
down.
ꯎꯗ꯭ꯔꯣ
Gold rank
ꯑꯩꯗꯤ
team still
ꯐꯖꯅ
has
ꯀꯟꯇꯦꯁ
already
ꯇꯧꯕꯁꯨ
onto
ꯅꯠꯇꯦ
this
ꯍꯥꯏꯕ
Esmeralda.
ꯂꯥꯞꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯒ
Suna,
ꯀꯣꯟꯗꯪꯗ
of course, and
ꯄꯥꯏꯁꯤꯜꯂꯒ
it's
ꯊꯥꯗꯕꯅꯤ
all actually
ꯔꯤꯇ꯭ꯔꯤ
SHUL.
ꯒꯦꯝ
So
ꯀꯥꯏ
this is gonna be very dire to want to play it safe.
ꯍꯥꯏꯀꯥꯟꯗ
They need to farm for Prime, but the thing is, they have another Yi Shunxian, another scaling hero onto the jungle. So it's into the hands of Ailu to try to protect both of these backliners, and it's gonna be a lot on his plate. One turret down into the bottom lane. SHUL, they are still ahead onto the goal.
Yep, and so far I think they are playing for the objective. They're not really just forcing those fights that they saw that they cannot really punish or they cannot really force their way in. And afterwards, I think pushing down the bot lane tier 1 was the best choice. But again, top lane 1v1, Prime is really low on HP against
Oh,
Ang nào
impossible
hay tầm neo
for him
le
to
so
get
ta
out
li
of that.
tel
But
tu
one
je.
more turret falls,
Ji
that is
kaya ne
another
so ta
tier
pon
1
da
being
na.
taken down. This
Ôi
point,
thu Sky
Zohan
Gen
here
đó
are
cookie
on the
này.
defensive, but Blade can finally push one turret until and unless Anti comes, not Anti, Apex comes and just makes him force back.
ꯀꯥꯏꯖꯦꯟꯗꯣ
I think
ꯑꯩꯉꯣꯟꯗ
he
ꯍꯦꯟꯅ
will
ꯑꯉꯥꯡ
be able to
ꯃꯥꯜꯂꯤꯕꯣ
do it
ꯃꯁꯛꯇꯣ
easily. But can he find an escape? Because at the same time, you can
Mama,
see
mama
Jay
sao
will
rồi
be
đi
taking
mà.
down the turtle, but the traceless will be used perfectly to time it out. But can he find an escape 1v1 once again? But
Dù thế liền
Radiant is
của
finally
Salui
trying to
ra.
chase him down. Where the Starfall will go in and find that kill. That's jungle
my
town. Blade, no more on the map. RWM will be dropped
Ismeralda cái
down, but
nào
it will
burst
be
đầu
instantly
rồi
cancelled
à.
out because the rest of the team from
China
SWL
cái
will
nó
be
gi
back in the map.
bọc
And
wheel gi
team
tiếng pai nu pa to homra.
Zohan, they need to just play
Tip
defensively.
to.
And he is very far ahead, and he will be able to
Mai mà
now.
nau
ꯈꯪꯗꯦ
pa
ꯅꯪ
oi le
ꯉꯁꯥꯏ
mai
This
to
ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯣ
time
chep to.
with the
Mai
Salmon
pok
Force,
mina.
Cái nó
they will not take
Bapwell
the
là nó
damage
trộn cái nồi áo
necessary to
mà
take
tôi bảo.
anybody down. But with this, both the teams go for the
1 HP áo mà tôi.
Yorom
retreat.
de bọc fe.
that's two
Cái nào
Engine
nhau?
the
players down
engine
for
the.
the side of Johan,
In
and it's
chain
gonna be
ne
one
nana
man down
san
yet
pit ne
again.
ai ne.
SHUL with the discipline,
Pain ne.
able to
Yo
start
hen
off this
ne
game
to ga
fights most of the
skip to ga.
time, and the rotation coming through from Radiant was perfectly on
Cái
point.
này
This is the synergy I was talking about that
Bapwell là
Johan
gì áo cũng
failed
đi
to
tàu
have.
này
Does
ôi
he
thu.
might be in trouble?
Bọc fe
1
de
HP
yo.
được buồn
Yorom
nữa
bra
kìa.
ne.
Team again
Giáo
Yorom
cũng
de
tàu
yorom de
này.
one.
forced
Oh mara ma yorom ba mara
you
ma.
see
Hai
one
di.
thing, right? The
Kha
Esmeralda,
ma pha da
even
bi
though
yorom ma ne.
fell in the early game, but it's working
MC가
perfectly fine,
MC가
right?
그노 또 왜
From
못당도
Radium, he's able to
아
exert the
걔다 걔나
pressure.
왜
He's able
못당도
to go for
스쿼트다
those, defensive
강어 왜
maneuvers where the side of
마타
Zohan is forced to
Aduga
respond by doing
kainoga.
타이토
something and using their
Kari XP
resources.
player
But
aring mo do
because of
kay ba
which
kaw
they're
ne.
losing sight of the most important thing. But
XP
again,
player aring mo
Destiny
yorom ne
is
kaino
in
do.
trouble. He uses a
Ai ni
bit
sen
fight
bi
to
ba
clear
ma.
out the way.
Kaino dagi.
But he's able to just buy enough time for his team to just
Ay
push
mo
ꯅꯪ
in.
sa ba.
ꯁꯦꯝ
But
ꯅꯝꯕꯤꯕ
they cannot
ꯅꯪ
punish
MB
ꯁꯦꯝꯃꯤꯕ
ba di ay na
SWL
kausan bi
anymore.
ba ba
Already
tong ana
has
sana ba di noob na
counting
sana ba di
4.7
kausan bi ba ba
goalie.
bopel da.
Yep,
Kaw rin
that's
mo.
definitely going to be a good goal lead that they have right now. It's going to be very dire for
Kaw rin
Johan
mo
to
mingal.
try to play it safe, but how can they play it safe when
레전드
there's
우기대 게임 사내
SHUL
잘라
always coming into the back lines,
Legend nang
always
kopsala
going
jira.
in, trying to engage team fights and
옥살라지
winning
지금
out without any
ꯌꯦꯡ
compensation? That is something
ꯁꯥꯟꯅꯍꯧꯕꯅꯦ
that they want to do with this kind of picks that they have right now.
Kayo na
Looking at the
legend
goal
kopsan na
difference
pa
so
do ma
far,
jali mo.
it's all into the hands of SHUL. Everyone is
ꯂꯤꯡꯗꯤ
so
ꯂꯤꯡꯕꯅꯦ
fast
ꯂꯤꯖꯦꯟꯗꯣ
going for the goal.
Legend ling mo
Blade,
ne XP.
oh my goodness, taken down
ꯑꯩ
easily.
ꯊꯥꯏꯅ
JO
ꯇꯦꯡ
with the
ꯁꯥꯟꯅꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯀꯥꯟꯗ
last like
ꯍꯥꯏꯄꯔ
that is
ꯁꯥꯟꯅꯔꯝꯕꯩꯗꯣ
something
ꯃꯥꯅ
that you
ꯌꯦꯠꯄꯁꯤꯗꯤ
not want to
ꯂꯣꯏꯔꯦ
go for.
Ado
Time
sacrifice
Prime
ꯃꯥꯏ
with a
mo
bit
ni.
of
ꯃꯥꯗꯤ
trouble,
ꯃꯥꯏ
but
ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦ
able to get
ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯏꯜꯗꯣ
back. The Fraction
ꯇꯔꯇꯜ
Pulse
ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯗꯅꯦꯕ
does
ꯐꯔꯛ ꯌꯥꯝ
connect.
ꯇꯥꯏꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ
But
ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯦ
still, they
ꯊꯨꯅ
don't
ꯀ꯭ꯂꯤꯌꯔ
force it
ꯇꯧꯕꯒ
out. You can see, right?
ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯦ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯋꯦ
They are
ꯂꯥꯄꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕꯗ
aggressive, but they're aggressive for a
ꯌꯥꯝ
good reason. They
ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯛꯑꯦꯕ
get one
ꯂꯦꯟꯗꯣ
trade, then
ꯐ꯭ꯔꯤꯁ
they
ꯑꯗꯨꯝ
go back.
ꯇꯧꯔꯒ
They just
ꯖꯪꯒꯜ
farm
ꯏꯝꯄꯦꯛꯇ
again
ꯑꯗꯨꯝ
and take those
ꯆꯪꯕꯤꯅꯦ
objectives. That's what they're doing.
Are.
You know, it's so funnily enough, the
ꯑꯗꯨꯏꯗꯣ ꯈꯪꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ
movement speeds
ꯒꯣꯜꯂꯦꯟ
coming
ꯑꯩ
through from
ꯒꯣꯜꯂꯦꯟ ꯁꯥꯟꯅꯕꯅꯤꯅ
SHUL is
ꯈꯪꯉꯦ ꯃꯥ ꯂꯦꯟ
definitely
ꯀ꯭ꯂꯤꯌꯔ ꯊꯨꯅ
something that they
ꯇꯧꯁꯜꯂꯛꯄꯗꯣ
have advantage of.
ꯑꯗꯩ
There is an Aladdin,
ꯅꯣꯡ
right?
ꯐꯥꯗꯣꯛꯀ
There
ꯃꯥꯏ
is a
ꯂꯦꯟꯗꯒ
Crash onto the
ꯇꯥꯕꯁꯦ
Khalid. There is a Suna which
ꯑꯗꯨꯝ
who can
ꯌꯥꯏ
fly in
ꯑꯩꯅ
and
ꯁꯥꯟꯅꯕꯅ
out, and there is also Radiant with the sprint too.
ꯍꯦꯔꯣ
So
ꯍꯦꯔꯣꯒꯤ
whenever there
ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ
is a
ꯏꯜꯂꯦꯀꯣ
good engage or a good compensation that Johan tries to look for, they always
ꯂꯥꯄꯨ
return
ꯕꯦꯔꯥ
time.
ꯀꯥꯔꯦ
That is the
ꯃꯥꯒꯤ
definite
ꯑꯩꯅ
source
ꯈꯪꯉꯛꯄꯗ
of the winning team
ꯑꯇꯩ
fight that
ꯑꯇꯩꯁꯨ
SHUL
ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯕꯦꯔꯥ
have
ꯀꯥꯏꯗ
right now. Radiant with the talisman and the oracle will be
ꯀꯥꯏꯅ
able to
ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯛꯄ
have a good advantage with the mana mana regeneration and the shield as well. Top lane though.
They want to take one more fight this time, though. S2L, they want to go more deep, but
Okay.
turret defense, though, it's going to be saving them, even the glorious pathway. You know, I was just thinking that they might just go in very deep, but they are still playing it discipline. That's the best thing to do, but with more waves coming down, you can already see
Still?
J-Ho going in. Still, he will not find that kill or the damage necessary. But at the same time, the side of Team Zohan, they need to defend this lot, which is coming down. The holy defense will all of them prop down with this push. Yes, it will. But will Team Zohan be able to defend this one? I think they can, but hold on to the inhibitors is still a question because side of Team Duel, they're not really backing out. They're still trying to push more, but the waves will be cleared out with the help of For You and the damage
HG
from Ryan. But there are more waves
let's
coming
go
crashing in, and with this, JO is going in with the rest of the troop of Duel. The RWL will be popped in, but the glorious path is slowing them down as well.
Come Yeiru Henjele, Jedo. Now I'm at 2 glitch Kano.
Oh my goodness, but this will call them to go back out because Zohan, they know
Kill them long, they mean
they
that alone. You
might
kill
lose their
the
inhibitors.
coalition.
It was amazingly well done by Dusty
Fight
Wizard
fight
Scrims by
the
being
Mali.
able to chunk out
No.
those minions when there was a dive
Sini
coming
no,
through from
sini no,
SHUL.
sini no objective
But
sana ba
there
isa.
was just one member down. Asuna
Goal
is
jadi.
not the shutdown kill.
Ano na
He's
hili
Ay
two
na.
kill
kill
tara
ahead,
hin
but
kalap ko. Tara
apparently
hin si
he
kalap.
hasn't
Yeg
gotten
din
the
daw ya.
killing spree, so that's not a
Ako kang
bounty
uhod.
just yet. But the blue buff
Nang
will be
di
gone yet
alot
again
para
from
kya
the
lang
hands
sila.
of Blade.
Eh,
This
adun
dude
ring ni na
is not really
brother.
having a good time
Ring
because
ka
Ring
to.
te discipline
you
thong
know,
da ba.
that's
It
something
all
you
start with
really don't have
small
when you
things.
are onto AG since you are very, very behind onto the gold and the levels too.
May
So
alert ka
level
kung dito.
damage taken onto the
Nasa
side of SHL has to
kambut
be
ang binili.
NT. Yeah, that guy cannot die anymore. This is the problem.
Jini pa
Looking
Ismail
at
da
the
yet ta
winners
ta
here who
wa
is ahead, who have
nang
you
na
know
pa
gold
Ismail
rolling
na yet
on
man
onto
na
him
team
too.
patch out
And
da.
now this time around, I don't think there is anyone on the side of Johan that can melt him down. The only factor has to be prime onto the Harriet,
Yana
and
do ne
he
to do
needs
kya
got
rang
to
ta
make
do
the
ta
penetration
hello
onto
hello
it,
hello
and
hello
he's still
hai.
not onto the
Alert
progress
by
button,
figure
and he's
Oh.
very behind onto the goal. That's something you do not really want to see
Ay
onto a Harriet.
discipline sana
But if
naman.
they are able to
Kali
drag
hold
this
to
game for
sana
a
jadi
long
Hello
han
hello
han.
time,
hello.
they
Chaka
will
let's
be
do ki
able
wa
to
thu da
reach
bra.
that pass. But the thing is, in real, SHUL, they
Bra
are
Moya
really
discipline
home
hana
making
game
mistakes.
mani
That's the
mai da.
problem. Johan
Tum as ngasi
sometimes
tum
they
mo
got
la
to
college
make
at
they
lena
got to
kang
make
ganda
a
sana ni
mistake
mune AJ
for the
halat ti
winning
jala ma ja.
condition, and SHL they
Kaya.
are not doing any of that.
Ni
Ay
pa
follow
scrim
han.
Yeah, I
har
mean, this
Ma
is
hale
this
ai
seems
dri phone charge
very
to ge ne
objective
battery
focused,
3%
right?
hai
They
mi
are
dri.
playing for, the objectives much more than
Nusibana.
the kills.
Ma pung
Which
ni
you
pan
can
da la
see
kaya
being
mi
Mapaganda
dri.
shown on those boards as well,
now
right?
zinu
5-4-4 is the
Shivana.
score. It's very low kill
Pung ni
pressure
pan da
on the
la
map,
kaya mi
but
dri scrim
it's
nang na ba.
enough for the side of Team SHL to
Alright.
win out those objectives.
Okay,
But there
okay.
are some times when they're
Nahi dra.
overstepping their and they are getting punished for that.
Maybe.
But at the same time, I think it's not so much
Ai
of a
na ha di masado hale
disadvantage
aga de
that they are
phone to charge
putting
na ta
themselves
ro
into
battery
because
khai
they
aur de
are
game to
having the
no
goal
na
lead
de
completely
masado.
in their side. And I think at this
Ai
point,
nga
if
ai
they
halak
make a
bane
very
nung charge
major
ai do
mistake,
war
like
wa
you
na to.
mentioned,
Po tha na
taking
wan
the
hona
ban
la
taken
ha.
down
Police
or
bana
even,
chalo jam to ro game no
falling, I
ha.
think
I
that
think
is
na
where
tum
the
mahora bani
main
ne. Sanay na.
issues will be starting for the side of Team SDUL because Zohan, they are really playing it slow. They're just waiting for the scaling, and
Bundar.
so far,
Mhm.
long way from what they need. Point.
Ice cream ju.
Koi
You
college
know,
ki
at one
group
point
sina
of a
mo
time
ma
when
ko
the opponents are
pudha
playing
da
very
yo.
slow and very behind,
Mathau yam
it
lai tabe
just
tabe
gets
like
annoying,
thawai
right?
mo
The
yam
noob
sa
does just
group
want to go
sida
for the
topic
dive.
khana
As
da.
SHL, they are not doing any of that.
Hindi
They
ang
know
Nang
that
nang
they
never.
are
sawi ba lai khai jara
doing
ga mina.
a lot of damage
Side
onto the
mapunsi
side of
game
For
sandra
You.
khang de.
Almost there to
Ay ba
get to the
ita ba
breakthrough
kang
with the
mukha
kill,
ni
right?
like
But hey, look at the
jam
engage
ke
though.
to.
Hoi hoi
Once
hoi hoi
again,
hoi
the
adu
glorious
kangu
path
de
waves
ne la
defensively
city
service
service.
the
Adi
Zaman Force.
Ayam
They're
sa
holding
guy.
onto the base. The Lord will take down the
Matao
top
ano
bot
te.
inhibitor.
Pasnelo
Mid-Lord
ina
is
hang
falls
siya
as
ko
well.
to.
And with this, Team ST12, they want to push their
Ka to
lead.
male,
They want
ka
to
to
end this
male,
game, but
ka
they're
to
really
male.
pushing down Blade onto us.
Defense
They're
to defense
switching
to
back
wa
HP.
ni.
The Lord is not cleared. Out of teams, Zohan, they're
Hindi
still
chatra,
trying to
hindi
go for
chatra
more.
chalo.
The RWM will be dropped
Ang
down.
rega.
And with
Angre.
this team, ST12, they're still trying to push more, but they're not really getting the hit onto the base. They're just trying to lower the
Maru
HP
po eh.
down, chip the HP
So
down
pare
from
kan
the
maru
members
po
of
eh.
Team Zohan. Same time, they
What's
are
video?
not
What's
really
video?
getting anything done in the base. They're just
Ball
buying
is
more
10
time
kg
for
na
them to
yun.
clear the waves out. But will it be enough for them to end this game here, Zebi?
I don't really think so because there might be another engage coming. Dusty Mizo trying to go in. That's gonna be the raising sandstorm.
Chale,
The
chale,
raising
chale,
back
chale. Amo
slightly
to
getting
fasare du sare.
caught.
Chill,
He
chill.
have the immortality. Might be taking
Halo ne, halo
down
ne.
Blade with a kill. Asuna with another stack onto Dusty Mizo right now. NT might be in trouble yet again, but that's a lot of damage coming through from Asuna right now. All of the inhibitors gone for the side of Johan. They
Ai
need to
hay
defend this,
len
but
da ina
good
tau de
discipline coming through from
bio
SHUL.
7 ga
They
sana ba ko.
backed away.
Ina tau de game ek loi ba
Yeah, they backed
muthagi
away,
thuk
and
thum
that's
gi
the
da ni.
best thing because if they just,
Sa
like
sa
we
la.
mentioned, if they just try to overstep their
Game ek loi
bounds, they
ba
will
cha
be getting
แล้วทำ
punished.
กันด้วยเนี่ย
And
ชอบทำ
currently the goal lead is almost 100k, and
you know
if
โคนยา
they
ตัว
really
เหี้ย
just give them the lead for Zohan, they can easily come back.
ชากันละ
They
ดิ
just need a few
พอ
more
ร้อง
items
อิงอะดิเนี่ย
before, after which
120 fps
they
พัง
can
ยาวอ่ะ
easily even burst down the
129
tanky members, because most
190
importantly the
Aduh,
damage
sagala,
is
Kulo
ano,
ha pa sa
for
so
you
kulo tha
and
re na tu
Prime
sa
and
so
even Blade, but I think
Cooler
most of
lay
them
there.
are close by to completing their
ไอ้ฉัน
build.
กูเลยเอาหน่อยว่าไอ้ไฮเนอร์เดี๋ยวพวก
Let's
ไป
also
ทาง
go
กู
from
เลยเอา
Blade onto the Yi Shinshin. Of
Ada
course,
Chile
they
ka
will
tangina
go
ko
for a
lain
little
bro.
bit of very true damage
Yan
onto the
halaga
side because
pa
of
wala
course
cool.
looking at the chunky
Yeah, bro.
members, right? The Thunder Belt onto the hands of Iridium. Wow,
ไง
that's
เนี่ย
a
มัน
very
กล้ามา
cheesy
แล้วต้องมุน
Miss
มาซาด
Iridium. That's a new onto the
ไอ้
table.
ตอน
I
นั้น
hope
มึง
he
จะ
got a
ว่า
lot of
ก็
stack
คือ
onto that
ที่
because
ชาย
that's
หนุ่
gonna
ม
be a
ตั้งอยู่
lot
ใน
of
เนื้อ
defense
เต็ม
and a lot of damage onto the basic attacks too. But
ไอ้
yeah,
นู้น
he wanted to chunk down all of those
Nani tak
and
salo no.
the
กู
tank
เลย
is
โฟกัส
still
เอาไว้
very
แต่
actual. I don't think
ไอ้
it's
หนู
still
ที่
gonna be
เต่า
enough.
เลยเนี่ย
They're gonna be still needing a
ดูการ
little
ต้อง
bit
จะ
of
เป็น
time.
อะไร
9k gold is
คื
what
น
they
คื
have,
น
and
เอา
this
เต่า
is gonna be another
ตัว
2k
กูเย
gold
อะ
advantage. 2k
เพิ่ง
gold advantage from the
เก
lower
ม
ดู
กั
กัน น
แล้วไอ้
range
ที่
ที
that
เดียว
เดียว
เที่ยว
กัน
กัน
กูเนี่ย
SHL
ยิ
will
ง
be
มัน
bringing here. No inhibitors left, Simio. And
ไอ้
if this
ชื่อ
one
เดียว
comes
กัน
in, it's not still evolved, but it's still gonna be an endable one.
เราเล่น
Yeah,
นาน
because
กี่
you
ปี
know
แล้วแกแต่
อั
ว่าน
ดับ
they
แบ
do
บ
have
อัน
the
ดับ
bait
กิโล
to
ย
ไม่
โด
ค่อย
มา
have
เลย
to
นะ
use
อันดับ
all their
กิโล
abilities,
โด
all
มา
their
ไปเลย
skills, all their resources into
โล
doing
โล
that.
ก็ได้โล
And at
ชัน
this
แล้ว
โล
ไม่
point,
ก็
โล
ไม่
เลย
ใช่
it
เลย
might be too much of a
defense
hefty
ว่า
price
นี่
to
ตัว
actually
นี้
go against it because of the damage the side of Team SCD will
High
get
low
deal.
same
Last
meltdown
time
na
they were
bi
lucky that the turrets
pinawa
were
na
there,
asuna
the
ka tan.
inhibitors were there, but this time they won't be having that luxury
Yes.
anymore. As you can see, Jay
High low
already
so
starting
ti
to
has a
deal
lot
the damage
ni
to Dusty Miss, who is on
mita
the Lapu
mita
Lapu
mita mita
tanky
mita
member.
mita mita
Lord
mita
coming crashing down.
Laura
I
mita.
think we might look to an end.
That
โดน
might
ตัว
be
นี้ตัวเลย
possible,
อิส
and
เบลดา
also
แนว
the Zaman for still
เล่น
available
เก
for
ม
grabs.
แรง
Dusty
Depend tau kan ni. Ato niya.
เราเล่นกันเลยแค่ลาปูพัซาริส
onto
ตี
the base,
ลาปู
droning
ในส่วน
away
ของตัวเวอร์
everyone from the table right now.
Nice,
It's
nice.
gonna be the
Right
Zaman
now.
for being pop upon and
Sale,
what's
sale,
that
Apex,
gonna
sale
do?
tadi.
There's gonna be Apex
Eh,
and
eh.
Trouble taken down.
Pasal
He's
ini
gonna
ah,
be the
lapu
one
tu.
the first to remove
Lapu
the
mi
Lord
ni
is
John tahu
cleared
dia gitu.
out, but NT
ลาปูมันนี่ไม่เห็นใน
trying to
อี
go
ก
in
ที
for
นึ
more.
ง
One minute
ไอ้
is
ไฮ
still
โลสิกูบินเอา
available.
เลยเดีย
They are able to clear it out. Johan
ไอ้ที่ของฟัง
clearing
เนี่ย
away
ฟัง
Dusty
กันแล้ว
trying
Eh,
to
tu dia hand mandro, eh, tu hand mandro ye.
down.
Dia ni sih pra.
And the stun not connecting, but
ใกล้
then
ตัวใกล้ตัว
it's
Sale
a
tadi.
successful
Puri sale.
defense coming through
ไม่ได้
for Ezreal
ไม่ได้
for
ติ
Tu
ด
you.
ก็
sale
ยาว
ai
เล
ai
ย
sale
เนี่ย
ai dra. Sale si si satu re.
Unstoppable.
Pajare,
It's
pajare.
gonna be big.
Sale
It's
tu
gonna
sale
be
upai
big.
shule. Eh, chati hinge sale.
เอ๊ะ
Sale hinge. Pajare as. Bis 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 bis. Sale. Luar game luar.
เร็วเร็วเร็วเร็วเร็วเร็วเร็ว
โอ้โหดัสตี้ไม่ชนเดียวเนี่ย
That
อันนี้
is
นี่
FHUL
นุก
เดี๋ยว
in
นั้
the
นว่า
game against
ว่ามา
มา
เดี๋ยว
Zohan.
นั้น
ดัสตี้
Oh my
มาไม่บัง
goodness,
บังบัง
yeah.
Sino kau ni apa? Lehau lehau tu ni apa?
Focus on the kills here, but
Bio kaya
eventually
ako?
they were
Bio
able
one
to push
apa?
the base too, but
Eh.
could have been a
Eh,
potential
leho,
โอ้
eh,
วัน
comeback
นี้ก็
that we could have
Kaya
seen
Bio
from
one,
the side of
leho
Team
ba,
Zohan,
Jibo?
but it was not
Point
nearly
system
enough.
na
They
ta,
could
assist
not
test.
clear
Oh,
the minion waves in time,
Assist test
because of
ni
which
ano?
they lost
Ah,
their
sige.
base
Salo, hey.
crystal. The Nexus was
Point
completely wide
system
open,
ang
like you
ganun.
mentioned. Without the inhibitors,
So
impossible for
Stacy
them to
kayo,
do
no? Kakya
much,
dili.
and
Ka.
because of which they were able to win
May
this game.
si
But imagine
tinatawag
getting
naman
the
eh.
player of the match with a KD of 0.33. Man, oh man.
Hindi Dusty daw.
0-0. Okay,
Nangamdaman ka.
that's a funny story that we
Kasi
saw.
kaya
Yo,
ako
yo,
There
am
were
sa
a
kalo
lot
niya,
of
sige
kills in this game because for
Kasi kaya ako
SHUL,
yun. Kabasan
they
nila
want
ako
to go
nila.
aggressive
Ni
since the
ako
Ay,
start.
pulo.
mali.
And Johan
Pulo
are
black,
like,
pwede ba daw
nah,
niya?
man, we're not falling into your trap.
Ano
But
mo kayo?
hey,
Mauna pala pura ko
how
din
will
ba
you,
sa
even
sa
if you are not taking any kind of
Kasi
risks,
kaya ako
you are gonna
importante.
be in that risk of losing too. And I feel like, it would have been better if Johan were going for the risk on, attacking one member at a time and trying
the
to go
fuck is this
for
guy?
a one person, right? If they had engaged on one person, even if it is one tanky member, I feel like they could have found more success than going all in. Sometimes you gotta stay chaotic, and Johan was known as a chaotic god, right? But their chaos is not being seen here. And SHUL esports, they were so good onto the discipline. They know that they were made for going
Guys, si
in
M sabihin kay
and going
Longan
for the
na
aggression.
ibira.
But the
So,
team,
taka
the
no,
opponent
Jeho
were
guys
playing,
lang.
not playing into their, into
Pin
their
siya
cards.
tahu ya
But
Adria
then
ba
again,
kodo
they were
pasati
like,
wa jale
nah,
ba.
nah, man, we're gonna slow it down. We're gonna play that. We're not gonna be giving you
mo
any
sa
farm as
konto.
well, and we're just gonna overwhelm you with goal lead and tankiness, and that's what they did here.
I think they really went for a very late game draft for the side of Zohan, which kind of
They
them
see
to
you
a point
get
where if they were on the losing end, if they were not in of the goal, it kind of backfired them, and to the point that they cannot really get back the lead towards themselves. himself. And even if they got the farm in the later half of the game, it was already too late because too well they had a massive lead onto their side. They had that luxury of the goal, and more so they had the luxury of the frontliners available, right? There were a lot of people who can soak the damage, that can actually just give the chance for Jay Asuna easily to deal the damage, and that's what. And even for Esmeralda, they can deal damage over time, right? It's not a damage that we're talking about, but the damage is definitely there. And you can see, like, he was not even afraid going under the Nexus to take down 4U in the last team fight, meaning that he is there menacingly, just harassing the members onto the backline, because one, you're putting 3 shield hero against the Esmeralda, completely disrespecting the fact that she can actually perform well against her. But at the same time,
Exactly.
you're fighting against the Esmeralda who's already fed. So how do you
ฉัน
go
ไม่
against
ใช่
it?
เด็กติกซะมั้ง
A fat Esmeralda is scary, man. A fat Radium is scary. But I'm honestly thinking, I think it's safe to say they might hunt for my head, but Johan went for an ego draft, don't you think? Because
Yep.
Blade, man. Of course, you're comfortable onto the Yixun Shen, of course, but why would you go for the Yixun Shen when there's always a threat for the Lancelot? The Lancelot could have been a viable option rather than the Yixun Shen, and I don't think he really did a good job there too, because he wasn't given space. Red Sky, of course, has to be J-Ho onto the Lancelot. 769 gold per minute, something that we are accustomed to onto this gold lane side, not the jungle side. Very well done. I think the damage coming through from For You was already so good, right? He was having the damage on point. He had the spacing too, but the follow up that they wanted to go for, right? The Eve
แต่ซีช่ว
having
ย
combination that they
มิ
wanted
น
to
ยน
go
มิ
for
นยนตัวตาเล
couldn't
ย
happen because they also have a squishy backline onto the jungle and who's very weak onto the farm too. So it is so pure, poor. Yep, that's what. So maybe get away from the ego draft and try to go for a little bit of a balanced one.
True. I think, like you mentioned, even while in the drafting stage or while the game started, it was too much on the plate for Elu to stop for his team.
Venom
Right?
way
Too much
Exactly.
to actually appeal, right, for his
Pin
team.
share tawya de
In
ne
such a
pata.
situation with the high loss, the best you can do is use the glorious pathway to slow down the member, or just use the lore order punishment there, right? But it's not going to be enough slowdown to actually stop members like stop heroes like the Lancelot, stop heroes like the Esmeralda who can really rush back to the backline. And I think, like you mentioned, ego drafting was the problem this time around. But again, this will be a best of one, so that's SATUL winning this game around and moving to the 2-1 bracket for the side of team Zohan. They unfortunately have to go down to the 1-2 bracket. Just one more loss and they will be eliminated from the tournament. Really a risky place to be in, isn't it? So with this, wait, it's 2-1 bracket or 2-2 bracket? 2-1 bracket, my bad. It's 2-1 bracket, and with this, we'll be taking a short break for the next games to be prepared. But Debbie, is there any final message that you want to give out to anyone out there about this game?
Hello,
I think they're gonna hunt my head if I speak more.
phone screen share screen screen ring to do kai
I think SHUL they played the cards really right. The theory was on point, the strategy was on point. There was no plan A, plan B. They directly went for the plan A, and Johan they let down into the response. I feel like they can play. I know they can do better than this too. So well done for SHUL, and try more for Johan.
Yep. Thank you for the message, Debbie, of course. But with this, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a short break. And
screen share tawya dra watch party to lo device
the next games, of course, coming right at the Mythic Showdown Season 2.
Perfect. Ying. I cut that.ช่วยทูไอ้ชี้ทายาดีกูดูโอ้กดพิได้จ้านี่หน้าไม้มาป๊อก Oh shit, my nigga. Oh shit, my nigga. Fuck! Laura, man. I stream with like a candy. You are going to cars. Yadre.
Copyright chagre.
Copyright job na ti screen share to yadre kamay thado no. Ay thatle men screen share to yadre men koi thugi ne I gare.